This is the Dude Bros Podcast. This is the Dude Bros Podcast.
Now you did hit record this time, right?
We are rolling,
Okay.
motherfucker.
Wyatt, I am rolling.
We were talking about just large concerts in different areas. We talked about Metallica breaking the barrier after the Iron Curtain went down, having a badass concert that was definitely taxpayer funded.
$3 million, bro.
Hey,
That's a
it's
big
a psyop.
number.
Gotta sock it to them comics. It does hold up in badassery, though.
Solid.
You can't fight with that. But anyway, what I wanted to stay in that vein with before we jump to anything else was, have you heard about the heiress amnesia? Does that trigger anything for you?
Man, probably not the thing I'm supposed to be thinking. That takes me to like the poor Ariana deal. You know?
Oh, no. Well, I mean, so Taylor Swift, her Eras tour, there is a very large number of people that have been to the concerts that have absolute zero memory of the entire experience. So much so that they've made like websites, Wikipedia pages, whatnot to describe the Taylor Swift Eras amnesia effect. One of the commenters on there, and you're gonna love this, she said that I found that the best way to cure, like the best way to solve this problem is just to go to another concert.
Oh, man.
If you can't remember the last one, just book yourself another one on the tour.
I actually followed a couple streamers, showed how much he made on ad revenue for a month, and I was like, oh, well, no wonder you can afford those front row tickets to Taylor Swift. The point is, he took his daughter there, and he snuck his phone in and was recording, because you're not supposed to record at those fancy concerts. And the part that I remember watching, it was like a 3-minute deal. Taylor Swift was doing a witch ritual in the middle of this whole thing. It was like demons going by and her saying weird words and the lights going in and out, and then his phone goes off. But that was him trying to live stream to get some looks on his page. I watched it and I was like, huh. So they're doing spells now. Neat.
What do you mean now? So throughout the entertainment industry, music, whatever you want to go with, I'm sure you've always had your conspiracies that you've pulled on with all that. There is an official witch that a lot of students, and I'm not talking about Marina Abramovic, but there's a witch, and I first noticed her actually tied to A$AP Rocky, because every time that he would release an album, like a close family member died.
Oh.
So, it was all this balancing act that kept
Bet it
going
did
on
well,
there.
though.
Right. And he attributed that to her, and then there's all kinds of videos, images or whatnot of them, doing the rituals, him reading out of some books, standing in the circle, candles, the whole doll it up, and they work a lot of that into the movies, the music videos and whatnot. But I mean, a lot of that is not cosmetic, we'll say. It's literally just
a little more truth to that, I guess.
Revelation of the method, as it were.
So there's a book with directions, and this is how you do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not just them. You got our top scientists saying it. That's what's going on at CERN. They literally have come out. Yeah, we're using this technology to talk to dimensions or entities from a lower dimension, and we're trying to open up portals and bring them into here.
Didn't they already say they've made contact with the entity on the other side?
That's what I'm saying. No, it's an active thing now. They've already disclosed
Same page.
that. They're open interviews. Anybody can go look this up right now. It's not hidden. None of this shit is, but nobody gives a fuck and wants to go look, That's what frustrates me so much.
Well, that's scary. Because then you got to think about what the world really is. And who's running it?
Yeah, you fucking cunt. And then you fucking man up and do something about it. You protect yourself. You make small changes, small sacrifices. Oh, no, I don't get to eat the big sugary nom-nom that turns out is made with fetal fucking cells, Plastic and fetal cells. No.
Cancer.
Yeah. If the only quote-unquote real part of your food is a human cell,
Ooh. Yeah, that's kind of cannibally.
Yeah, I'm backing down. I won't go into a rant on that.
That's
as much as
okay.
I would
We could
like
talk
to.
about that
Yeah.
for a while, but
that's what I'm saying. I mean,
yeah,
I
trust me, same page.
it's,
But yeah, no, and even the fake foods, it's just, ugh. Like we've touched on that with the cheeseburgers and the not molding, and it's obvious. It's literally in a fucking museum. Like, hey, this is why we don't sell this here anymore, because it's poison and it's not real. Eesh. Anyhow.
well, there's going to be some changes in America. A few years down the road, they got plenty of time to adjust to stop having coal dust and petroleum waste and find another way to make something orange or blue.
You mean with natural ingredients?
Well, that's a concept there. Crazy.
But tying this back into Witch Lady.
Yeah, I was just saying that I had noticed, this creepy old Disney witch, like in all these pictures. And I'm not talking about.
Is she like right beside him, or kind of larking?
Well, both.
Okay.
And the pictures weren't like I didn't. The first picture I saw, ASAP Rocky, was not him performing a seance or sacrifice or some crap like that, But
Right.
it would be him at some award show or him on some red carpet thing with the crew. But then, like I said, you got
proximity.
This Disney witch right here, giving people poison apples or whatever the fuck she put in there. Like, this does not belong. So look in it and then see that.
You want to be famous, dear?
Right.
Yeah.
She's literally, been contracted and paid by these different studios, music and film, and it's just then it's a very common practice, and this is.
I mean, but geez, you would think there's only so much of that juju that can go around.
Well, go to the whole origin of that old Hollywood, What is Hollywood? The fucking wand from the holly tree.
Hey now, you're onto something. Well, that Mel Gibson stuff is starting to recirculate.
There's a lot of Mel Gibson stuff.
The stuff he said the first time when he went crazy or whatnot. He had a quote going around about Hollywood is the den of all the pedophiles and child eaters that are literally exist so they can drink the blood of children and blah 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 blah, all that stuff. And now he's coming around. I believe he's making another movie soon. I can't.
Well, he's been pumping out movies.
Yeah. He's been sprinkling some stuff out there.
He was on Joe Rogan last year.
I saw. Yeah. Well, he pulled something interesting on there. I mean, he talked about a lot of stuff, but a couple of his friends had cancer, and he talked about they told him to get the radiation, chemo, blah blah blah, all the terrible murder yourself basically, and I don't remember what he said. I'm sure he had a plug for something, but all his friends did this one thing. Oh, I do remember what it was. It was one of those bad medicines we weren't supposed to take to help our COVID.
Ivermectin?
Yeah.
Benzodol?
No. It was ivermectin and hydrochloroquine, I think is what it was. And all four of his friends had like stage 3 or 4, like terminal, 6 months you're going to die of cancer. And this was a couple years ago, and they're still kicking. They're on vacation and shit now. So just neat stuff he's been talking about all over the place.
I mean, I will say I'm a firm believer in the fact that most people have a lot of parasites in them and need to purge that shit out fairly regularly, Everywhere else, literally everywhere else does it, So might be something to that if,
Well, parasites are bad.
Well, that's the thing. If you start pulling on that thread, then you start seeing a lot of very common issues that people have, even stuff to like, the whole baby acne and stuff, like toddlers will get that stuff. That's literally caused by parasites. That's nothing to do, that's no acne or anything.
Drop.
Yeah, it's just.
Well, I feel like with RFK getting the kind of tidal wave, movement he's getting, a lot of stuff, especially related to food and all that is, as if it wasn't already public knowledge, like really getting pushed out there for the people that are looking. You don't have to scroll too far to find some decent stuff now.
For every product on the market, you can sue the manufacturer for harm, for design defect claims, meaning the claim that the product could have made safer. I mean, literally, look around this room, planes, cars, pharmaceutical drugs, every one. There's only one product in America you cannot sue the manufacturer for design defect claim to claim that it could have been made safer, and that are vaccines. I heard, injections, vaccines. My definition of vaccine is any product for which the government needs to give it immunity from harms. To me, that's what a vaccine is, because some prevent infection, some don't. That's what a vaccine is, meaning it can't survive without that immunity, apparently. Why did vaccines get this immunity, which was provided in 1986 under the National Childhood Vaccine Injury Act? Because leading up to 86, there were only 3 routine childhood vaccines, MMR, OPV, and DTP, and they were causing so much harm and causing so much liability that all the manufacturers were going out of business to stop making them. And Congress, instead of forcing those manufacturers to do what every other product manufacturer needs to do in that situation, which is what? Make a better, safer product. Instead said, you know what? We're just going to give you immunity. We're going to make it so nobody can sue you for those harms. And you can keep selling your product to the American public no matter how many children it kills or injures. The issue is that immunity was not just given for those 3 products. It was given for any childhood vaccine, routine child vaccine that was developed thereafter. I tell you this not to take issue with childhood vaccines, but to explain to you the regulatory framework in which vaccines have developed over the last 40 years. We have now gone from 3 injections in the first year of life under the CDC schedule in 86 to 29 injections, including in utero, if a child follows the CDC schedule today. Every one of those vaccines, save one, was developed by a pharmaceutical company knowing they would not be responsible for the injuries that are caused by those products. So when you have drug trials where pharmaceutical companies, they care about losing money, they don't want to lose money on their drugs, they often do multi-year placebo-controlled trials before they get on the market because they don't want to end up upside down. They're there to make money. But with vaccine products, because they don't have that financial incentive, they have the disincentive. Almost every childhood vaccine in this country is licensed based on clinical trials with no placebo control, save for COVID-19 vaccine, often days or weeks, up to maybe 6 months of safety review after injection, and are often extremely underpowered. Those trials could never have really confirmed the safety of this product. And my submission to this committee laid out every single vaccine and put them in detail.
Well, the issue then could become is there's too much stuff coming out that it's all getting lost in the shuffle and people just flip to the next thing and don't retain anything.
Well, I mean, they're trying real hard to move on from those Epstein files, aren't they? It doesn't take long.
You got Tulsi releasing all the stuff, them trying to make this a big deal, saying Trump might possibly be about to arrest
Obama, right? Yeah.
A lot of stuff come out. Every few days there's been something with him in the past week, and then the thing that released as we are recording that, like right now, less than an hour old, all of the MLK files were released. Stuff from other countries confirms a lot of suspicions with James Earl Ray.
Shooter.
The shooter, yeah. So in the documents that came out, so I haven't read all of them yet, but did start to peruse through them.
Right.
A lot of stuff from the Canadian side of the house, because we got all of their files in this dump too, and it shows him being involved in the MK Ultra projects in Canada, specifically at McGill University's Allen Memorial Institute. And the doctor involved was Dr. Donald Cameron. Institute up there, getting messed with, all in there in the MK Ultra stuff. Of course, it just has references to it because they destroyed everything that was in the MK Ultra grouping in 1971 when they destroyed the program and didn't continue it anymore after it anyway ever. So
yeah, that was done completely. It wasn't just...
They wanted to destroy everything so nobody could pick it back up.
They figured out it was bad.
Yeah. So, cool stuff there when you see that connection. And then there's testimony from Ray's cellmate where he talks about how he is going to assassinate MLK. How he may have been coerced to do it. There's just a lot. And like I said, I'm eager to fully dive into it and get everything out there.
Oh, yeah.
The shooter was also in MK Ultra, and just, like I said, all the files there. And that's just what I've looked at so far. There's like 6,000 more to go.
Oh boy!
But fun stuff. But that's just flooding it, If tomorrow they release all of the, let's say, well, no. Last week RFK did release everything related to vaccine injuries.
To answer the question, and Irva Hertz-Pichotto is a highly esteemed, revered scientist, neurology, and epidemiologist, came back with a definitive answer. The epidemic is real.
And
Oh,
came
right,
up,
right,
yeah,
right. And
the
that's why
hepatitis
kids
B,
aren't recommended to
yeah.
have the shot anymore and all
Yeah.
that stuff, right?
Specifically, the MMR combination one being terrible for African Americans, almost like weaponized, designed to kill them. And then the hepatitis B one for the white children, specifically having the autism rates, go through the roof and all that. Just where there was blatant things.
Well, it's kind of weird that, 10, 15 years ago, the autism rate was like 1 in 10,000 on recorded births, and in the last 5 years, it's 1 in 35 or something along those lines. Somebody's on the spectrum on some level.
It keeps jumping up with the number of jabs, but I mean, that also could be correlated to the number of chemicals sprayed on all your shit. Regardless.
Ooh, which one? There's a
pick it,
long list.
Or the fact that your food's just becoming, I mean, there's so many things. Or the amount of radiation you're getting. Do you know how little radiation came from your old original cell phone? That's like having a garage clicker in your pocket now. There's no studies, zero studies on the health and safety of being exposed to this radiation. That's wild. We're going to.
Boy.
Yeah.
I'm just saying we can steer that anywhere we want.
I'll probably edit the last minute and a half out of that.
If you got a kid, don't ever let him put his cell phone near his head, and don't let him carry it in one of his front pockets. If it's a girl, don't let them carry the cell phone in their breast pocket. Don't let them carry them anywhere near their ovaries. And the farther the cell phone is from your head, when you're talking, the better off you are. This is not hyperbole when I say tens of thousands of studies that show the really extreme dangers of cell phone radiation, and people are not paying attention.
There's something to all those G towers, though. I actually just saw a video. I don't know, I guess a bird watcher or whatever. He was out doing his thing with his little drone, and one of those 5G towers was not too far away. And I guess he got curious or just wanted some pictures up close or whatever, and got within about, I'd say, 10 feet, and it fried it straight down. And that was the end of that little drone.
Well, I mean, it is microwave radiation.
That's some super juice, yeah. But,
when you go overseas, they got these labels and warnings on microwaves. If you're pregnant, don't use this at all. Like, not even, don't be in the same room, just don't use this and
right.
whatnot. And here we've got the TikTok moms that'll have
beep, beep,
the
beep,
baby
boop.
on them, yeah. All different levels of
It
awareness.
is just silly sauce, isn't it?
Well, that's the thing. So many people, they're so programmed, they're so indoctrinated to whatever their set of beliefs are that anything that does not align with that is absolutely absurd.
And it's painful,
It really is. I think that's the biggest limiting factor for the majority of people, is that they are genuinely not open to any new ideas, regardless of what they say or what they think or whatever. They are genuinely.
Yeah, they're dug in like ticks, most of them. And I mean, I harp on the Matrix movie, but they've got a lot of banger lines in there. And when Morpheus is just walking along and he's just saying, these people are so helplessly, relentlessly dependent on the system that even when it's blatantly obvious what's going on, you can't pull them out until they're ready, and that 99% of the time that does not happen.
Yeah.
So it used to be really painful to me, because I had my own growth cycle. We all have our times of coming out of the shell, I guess we'll say, and things can deal with. It's hard to get your paradigm shifted, and you can't do a bunch of them at once. It'll fuck you up. So, but simple stuff used to irritate me, because I would be like, look, you see those lines in the sky up there? Yeah, those aren't natural clouds. A plane made those. Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's the latest disclosure thing that they're putting out. I got a good one for you since you brought up chemtrails. We're very, we won't even go down that. So since you brought up the chemtrails, Disney has edited chemtrails into all of their older films, so that if you watch an older Disney movie,
They didn't used to be there.
or if you purchase it, you will have chemtrails all through there, so that children don't pick up a movie and watch it from the before times and wonder why they can see a sky and all this
The
stuff.
sun, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that was all started from Taylor Swift.
Yeah, and we didn't really go too that far off of it, you know.
No, I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's all trauma-based mind control.
You were just talking about MK Ultra, weren't you?
No, they stopped that when they burned all the records in 1971. No, there's a lot there. Like we've already talked about the GATE program, all that. I mean, I've seen a few little things pop up more and more about all that, but weird stuff, man. Common theme being people have huge gaps of just not remembering years of their life and all that. And I have some weird shit. I remember I would be put in these like bungalows. That's where the GT class was or whatever. You know, and you're removed from Gen Pop. You know, you're special, so they don't keep you with the other meat sacks. They put you somewhere else. And I remember I went in there, and it wasn't consistent which children would be with me sometimes. Like I remember sometimes and I don't have any chronological order of this, but there'd be like 16 or so kids, and then there'd be like 3 or 4 of us, you know. I remember one time though, I came in there, and the lady's name was Brown, Miss Brown. She was dressed up like some fucking gypsy, all these scarves and shit all over here. The entire place was blacked out except for just like a little light from, I don't even know what it was. It was basically the equivalent of like a child's nightlight plugged in there.
Okay, it was our crystal ball.
Yeah, and she was, I forgot what her character was, but she was playing some character, and she was telling us the things like we would have some choices, but these are how we would turn out, you know. And like so there's only a handful of us in there that she did that for, but I remember all of us turned out dead, you know, right off the bat, you know, thinking that was a common theme, you know, you're going to kill yourself probably, or, you know, you won't make it to the air.
Jeez.
But yeah, that's what...
Join the K program now.
That's something that one of the few memories I have, but it is vivid. But I also don't remember any fucking scandal that followed that. Like today, that seems like something that there might be a scandal for. You know, if some fortune teller lady told your child that they were going to die or commit suicide, probably, you know, that'd be...
I mean, the Sophie doll probably does that.
Yeah, they're probably getting it themselves online through all these... Anyway. No, it's just weird stuff, dude.
A lot of that. There seems to be a common theme of they're coming after the kids.
These children are not just kidnapped and in some cases bred by families as a cash crop. We have people in the United States of America that breed children in order to sell them. And when they are sold, they come without birth certificates, which means it's easier to kill them and have no one ask where they are. We're also importing children by the plane load. Again, children who have no documentation. It's not just child slavery or child sex abuse. It's also child torture because you have adrenalized blood. You have the whole blood drinking ceremony of the satanic world. It's also the use of children for harvesting body organs. And then you have ritual ceremonies and ritual murder, as well as incidental murder. Most organizations that end up being used to prey on children. Oxfam is a recent example. All of the United Nations organizations, the Boy Scouts of America, all of the child services agencies across the United States of America, they did not start out as organizations to prey on children, but they attract pedophiles. And ultimately, pedophiles end up rising in the ranks and controlling those organizations. So that an organization that initially started out in the service of children becomes an organization that is in fact hunting children.
You know, it's just...
Well, that all goes down to, because you have, until you're 5, 6 really before your foundation of reality is set, and then, give or take, until puberty normally, before then you really have everything rigid. Sure. And that's why you'll have all these instances of people that say they have these children that are interacting with, you know, whatever you want to say it. Usually it's grandma or something, you know, spirit kind of thing, that and they'll have, oh, they knew this detail that they couldn't have possibly known, or they went to this one thing, you know.
I could bring my mom on here and tell stories about
But
my little brother. Yeah, sure.
Everybody or every other person at least has something like that, and there's
Absolutely.
whether it's bullshit, whether you buy into it completely, whatever that kind of saying. We're not even going down that route. We're just saying that that's established with the children. So
Yeah.
when you have all of these things that target the children, it's because they do not have that grounded basis yet, and they're still open to different things. So you can use them in different ways.
Yeah. No, there's lots of jujus with the babies. Don't make it cool.
Well, at the end of the day, it's all relative to people in terms of what they believe. Because it doesn't matter what you believe, it matters what other people believe or what people in the different power groups believe. And the thing is, there's all these different cultures, all these different people saying stuff, and they might have little variations or different words and stuff, and we get too hung up on that and try to debunk each other. And people don't want to have like healthy conversations and get information. Instead, they either want to flex with what they know or make you look silly.
Yeah, they always want to be right.
Doing this shit in front of the camera.
Always want to be right. They don't want to talk.
Right.
Yeah.
You got these Draco people, you got dragons, you got royal bloodlines. I mean, you got all kinds of stuff that people have value in, and there's reasons for all the stuff. And all these people are fucking related. No matter what you think or what you even fucking go off of. You might know, oh yeah, isn't that silly, so-and-so is so-and-so's cousin or whatever. But then keep connecting it and see that it's literally
that
everything.
one and that one and that one and that one and that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then we'll take one and put it over here just to preserve them for a little while. Maybe build something over this side.
That's why you got all your surrogate families, and every now and again you work one of them in there. When you fucking inbred yourself, then you can't fucking make anything else anymore. But that's not going to be an issue anymore now that we've perfected all this cloning and created the... Why do you think they wanted to harvest all that DNA? Do you know what just happened when all this Epstein stuff went down? But
was it 23andMe? Yeah. I saw part of the congressional hearing on them selling it, and it was the younger guy with the big nose. He was really drilling the CEO or whatever. He's like, so how many millions of children DNA do you have on record? And he's like, well, I don't have the exact number, but we have...
Well, that's the new CEO. Mm-hmm. They all resigned.
Yeah.
Everybody resigned.
Yeah, sure. He is, what is it, Fun with Dick and Jane? He's the one that they plop in there right before the company goes.
that was right after Enron, right? Was that what?
Yeah. Oh, God, I forget what it was.
Lehman Brothers? It was right after something like that.
Yes.
That was a funny one.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
We're in a little bit of a pickle, Dick. Having a good time.
Yeah.
That was a good pull. I hadn't forgotten about that movie, honestly, until you said that.
Very good. Yeah. It is funny how that works. And then this poor sucker's in front of Congress just like, yeah, I just got here, but I don't have okay, yeah. What you said's probably right, yeah.
So this is where you go into... whatever threads you want to pull after that.
I mean, why would a private entity...
I can think of numerous reasons. I'm asking
I'm
you.
Just a simple guy.
You.
I'm just a simple guy here. I got a 9 to 5. Why would a private entity want permanent and ownership records of millions and millions and millions of private citizens? And you can't buy it back. You can't ixnay yourself from the list. It's just
before the sale.
But the what? It's already.
Well, that's your fault. You signed an agreement.
Mm-hmm.
Did you not read the 64 pages or whatever?
But there's 3 of those big ones, right? Isn't one of them owned by a
Mormons? Yeah.
I was trying to. Yeah, them.
There's a lot there. God, dude, we could go deep into the Mormons, man. I could bring some lawsuits on myself talking about the Mormons. They got a lot of stuff. So look, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret, and this might not make it in here. So there's something that happens when you go across however deep you want to go, and I'm not talking about the established families. I'm talking about all these rising families. So anybody that you've ever heard about. Let me tell you the secret that you have to, whatever fucking order you're going through, the golden order of mysteries or whatever the fuck, it's all the same fucking bullshit. They're all competing, it's all different, it's all part of the same group, but it's all, everybody's very viciously competing, right? The final fucking test that you have to do, the final thing you have to do at the end, is you have to make your own religion. You have to convince other motherfuckers to give their souls to you. And you'll notice what happened with all these. So, Mr. Hubbard, big fans with Jack Parsons, you from Rocketry Man, and then tie that to Werner von Braun, and they, figured out how to do rockets while they're rubbing each other's dicks out in the desert or whatever the fuck, like that's. It's all
the firmament showeth his handiwork, his itch on that that man's headstone. Literally etched on his headstone.
But that's
boy.
If that's how you want to view it, then there's always been these cults. I mean, look how many. Just take off of Jehovah's Witness or Mormon or something like that. Think of all the sects within.
Well, I mean, look at the list of just Christianity. People that all believe in Jesus. There's 100 different denominations of people that just believe in Jesus, and then Islam and Buddha, and I mean, that's literally thousands of. There's just a lot. That just makes sense. But so you're telling me that all these people were making their deals? That's it. That's all it was.
Like I said, that's part of the process. That's the final little. You pass your. I
guess you got to be a hell of a fucking wizard if you're making your own religion. I wonder if that's what the guy with the Kool-Aid was trying to do when the comet was coming by and all them people died.
I don't know. I mean, you could even take a page out of that if you want to look at the Harry Potter books. J.K. Rowling is very familiar with the occult.
No.
But I mean, look what happens out of there. I mean, the kids themselves make Dumbledore's army. They form this unit of solidarity in opposition to authority figures, to their parents, to whatever structure, for this one old fucking literal wizard.
Hey, we love Dumbledore.
I don't know. We're going all over the place. This should be like a 3-hour live stream.
Oh, man. That'd be fun.
That'd be dangerous.
Yeah, we really have bounced all over the place, but it still has it all has an underlying theme. It's the occult, and they're coming after the fucking kids.
But that's everything.
Yeah,
that could be the theme of everything.
Oh God, right? That could be just the underscript of every fucking episode. Which is upsetting because I have several children, and I'm trying my best to get them into a place where they can have some kind of discernment and teach them along the way of this is how they're going to try to.
Sent the removal orders 3 minutes ago. I just forwarded them to my lawyer. There hasn't been a hearing, so you can't take my children right now. I will not open the door to you. We're going to follow this up with suit against you and family services. This is an illegal tactic and a deep violation of my civil rights. I already have the video evidence that I needed, and I was already seeking civil rights litigation. This is just going to be another one on top of it. There has not been a hearing. There is no removal order. This is something that you have submitted to the court, and you just sent it to me 3 minutes ago. I have the timestamp on when you sent it to me, and you sent it to my work email, not the email I have on file with the school, which is my Gmail. You're a liar. It's obvious from your demeanor. It's obvious from your demeanor that you are ill-intended also. You're shifty. You're shady. You're self-soothing with your hand. And I don't trust you. I will not open the door. You're free to break down the door and break and enter my property. And what happens after that will just be what happens after that. Feel free to do so. You're not answering my lawyer. You said you were going to stop by yesterday. You're a liar. You said that you would submit a Freedom of Information Act request telling me what's going on right now. Instead, you show up with these false orders. And there's going to be a deeper investigation going on. Believe me, your problem is that I have the money to fight this. Your problem is that I have the civil rights attorneys to bring you to justice. You're corrupt. Get off my property. You're trespassing on my property. Get off my property right now. Get off my property right now.
You know what I mean? It's just, but you got to be careful because I've got several kids and they're on different wavelengths. You know what I mean? They're obviously in some ways one's ahead of the other, and vice versa.
Oh, we've talked about this before. They absolutely come out different. They're a package right away. It's a pretty different thing from the other. So, I mean,
but you got to pour this into this one and steer this one that way, and but you also have to learn your kids, because you can't just paste and slap whatever somebody. You got to know your kid to be able to grow them, I guess, if that makes sense, to help them be not a piece of crap and have some kind of not be a mouth breather. It's really easy because it's just tablets and video games, and not a lot of people have dinner together anymore. A lot of people just...
That's one of the leading factors that they say contributes to a person's success in life, is having that family time, like particularly a family meal.
Well, it's the socialization, right? It's multi-generational kind of knowledge going across the board. You're talking about different things. What grandma had to say? Well, Papa used to do it like this.
Okay, so...
What do you mean I can't have any alcohol?
Okay, well, I'll tell you. Okay, the time's 20 to 3, 14:40. I'm arresting you on suspicion of improper use of the Electronic Communications Network.
What?
127 Communications Act, okay?
But I'm going to be arrested for posting on Facebook.
Some comments that are offensive, obscene, and people have made a complaint about that, and it's...
And can you tell me what this comment was?